Meet Pauline. She works at Canvey's snooker hall and wants to get out of the EU. Whereas Emily, a trainee agricultural trader from Chelmsford, wants to stay in. We've brought them to Brussels to see what the EU is really like.
I'm happy to be here, but I'm still out. I feel that Britain still needs its individuality like all the European countries.
And Emily, what about yourself?
It's great to have just arrived in Brussels. I think the UK should stay. I think it benefits massively from being in the EU.
First stop, the European Parliament, and a meeting with the East's actively pro-EU Richard Howitt, who showed them the MEPs' chamber. Pauline had a burning question. Where does all the money we pay into the EU go?
About 30% of the money goes back to regions, and something like £600 million in East Anglia in the last 5 years has gone to support our farmers. And a tiny pinprick goes to running this place, but that is the price of democracy.
So are you saying that if we left the EU, the only real amount of money we would be saving would be that small percentage?
Now, what I'm worried about if we left the EU is that we'd be paying just as much but having far less influence. Because the Eurosceptics, they say, oh, we can be like Norway and Switzerland. We can be, but they pay as much and in some years more than we do to be able to trade with Europe. And by being here, we set the rules.
Next up, our Essex voters meet UKIP MEP Tim Aker. Emily challenges him on trade and that the terms for British business can surely not be as good if we leave.
Well, Britain's relationship with the rest of the EU is Britain's relationship with the rest of the world. We continue trading with them. And I don't like this idea that somehow we're Little Britain. No, we're Great Britain. We don't need a political union. We don't need this place. We don't need the politicians.
But are those trade terms going to be worse than they currently are?
Well, considering the European Union sells more to us than we sell to it, what do you think?
Post-Parliament refreshments, Belgium style. They've only been here a day and already they're debating aviation policy.
Certainly lots to think about on both sides, so bring on tomorrow and we'll see what happens.
What about yourself, Pauline?
No, I can't say I've actually been swayed so far, but it's given me an awful lot to think about.
Cordial conversations, even if not everyone wants to remain in the club. Simon Dedman, BBC Look East, Brussels.